Hello lovely ladies and welcome back. Today I wanted to have a little chat about the impact the order you eat your food in can have on your glucose control and on your glucose spikes. You might have heard about this, but in general it's advised that you eat your carbs, so your starchy food and your sugary things, at the end of your meal, because then they can be slowed down by the other macronutrients in your food. And the way this kind of works, so fiber is probably a really good one to eat first. And the glucose goddess explains it with the fiber that it creates this mesh, because fiber doesn't get broken down, it doesn't get absorbed. Even though it has glucose molecules in there, we can't break it down. So it creates this like mesh like thing in your stomach and in your intestines, and that kind of slows down the absorption of glucose. So even if you were to just have some salad, dark leafy greens, crudité, things before your carbs, that already in itself would slow it down. Okay, so veggies, salad, great way to slow it down. Now, if you then add protein and fat in there as well, that will give you an extra buffer. Okay, because the thing is with protein, as soon as it hits your stomach, it will slow the gastric emptying, so the emptying of your stomach, because protein needs time to be digested in the stomach acid. So anything that will come in afterwards will also sit there a bit longer, okay? That means if you have fiber, fat, protein, once that's in your stomach, even if then the carbs come in, they will be slowed down. So you don't necessarily have to have them very much at the end of your meal, although that might be a good idea because you might be so full by eating all the other things that you don't really want to eat a lot of carbs. But if you want to integrate them in your meal, as soon as you have already some protein and fat in your stomach, that makes sure that the gastric emptying is slowed down. Then you can also have some carbs in your meal. So it doesn't have to be regimented that you in this order, because we want to combine stuff in our meals, right? That makes sense. Okay. But a key thing also, by understanding that our carbs, glucose, starchy things can get slowed down by all the other ingredients, in general, you don't want to consume naked carbs. Okay, that's how the glucose goddess calls it. Carbs, sugary stuff, you always want to consume it with something else, be it a fiber, a protein, a fat, to slow down the absorption so you don't get the massive glucose spikes and you don't get the massive insulin raised. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Bye-bye.